K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Morning Tailgate on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. We are at the division rounds. So, hey, there we go. Another one of our
Hey,
late entries have entered in. I'm the host, Big B, the quarterback of this fine group of young guys. I got my big offensive lineman there. I pay him in bacon. That's why we call him Crispy Bacon. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing good. And then below him, just getting on from his sixth nap of the morning. Uh he's the man that follows the Chicago Bears, and we got a lot to talk to him about. Mess around Dave, how you doing?
I'm good. I just woke up. Stayed up late watching the Rumble last night. I didn't get to bed till like 4 o'clock this morning.
Oh
Okay,
wow.
yeah. So no spoilers here because I know our man Tim Hendricks. He just texted me. He said, no spoilers because he's watching it right or later today. So
4 o'clock in the morning.
anyway, so Dave, we're gonna start. We're gonna start off talking about some coaches and new GMs. So Dave, what do you think about the Bears so far and their hirings?
I like it so far, but I'm not gonna really elaborate much on that because I'm gonna save it for my show tomorrow.
No, that's cool. I mean, you're getting all the Green Bay guys. I mean, so
We only got
next,
one guy from Green Bay.
no, now you got the and you guys brought over this reporter I just saw on ESPN. You guys are bringing over another Green Bay guy, the quarterbacks coach, to be your offense coordinator.
Yeah, that's the only Green Bay guy we have.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I was thinking the head coach, but he went to
He was
Denver.
Indy. He was
He went
Indy.
to
Yeah,
Denver.
yeah. Nathaniel Hackett went to Denver.
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
yeah. So let's move on to that one. Denver hires Hackett as their head coach. What do we think of that move?
I think it's a little weird. The guy didn't call plays for Green Bay. Same with the Bears hiring Getsy, but I'll save that for tomorrow. He didn't call the plays. It was all that Matt LaFleur show. So I think they mainly did it just so they can make a run at Rodgers and Adams.
Yeah, I think that's what Denver did there. I think all they're going to put their eggs in a basket, and and I'm not saying the Packers are going to move from Adams or Rodgers, but if the
No,
price is right, I mean, you got to sell high, and Rodgers and Adams together is going to get you a high price, I think. So
reported out this morning that Green Bay is going to tag Adams, so I don't think he's going anywhere.
yeah, I think that all reports are indicating that.
Yeah.
Tim said we don't want to talk about the new
Eberflus.
Bears head coach because he's a Colt or because he was a
He was
defense
a
coordinator
Colt.
for
Eberflus.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I
because it
know
was
the
supposed to be
Giants
sweet.
also hired their new coach. Do we think anything's going to change in New York? Because there's ownership reported that they're sticking with Jones and Barkley and stuff. So, do we think the Giants are going to do anything different there,
You
guys?
know not to drink out of my shit.
I think so.
Do you
But
think Giants are going to be a little bit different? Okay.
maybe
I
not
like
at
that.
quarterback.
Oh, sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Maybe not at quarterback, but I think they're going to make a lot of changes.
I actually like the DeBall hiring for the Giants. I kind of wanted them for the Bears. The guy's offense is electric. What he did with Buffalo, if he can get Danny Dimes to play that way.
Well, that's exactly right. They can get who they got. I mean, definitely Buffalo's definitely high flying. And then
Yeah.
down here in Minnesota, we hired I can't pronounce the guy's name, but the
Quasi
GM,
and Buffalo.
yeah, the GM from the
Yes.
Bear or Browns, and then of
Mr.
course all the
Analytics.
rumors started flying that we're gonna get this guy, we're gonna get this guy, and the one guy that name came up was Jim
John got the big
Harbaugh.
one. There you
Jim
go.
Harbaugh, and I'm kind of 50-50 on it right now. I mean, he's if you look at his numbers, he's had decent seasons, and he's proven that he can win. He's been to the big dance. He, in college just got over the hump of beating Ohio State. But the GM that we just hired is more of an analytics guy. So is Harbaugh going to try to transform into analytics, or is he going to try to be the hardcore, old school guy? I just saw a report that the Vikings have narrowed it down to three guys: the defense coordinator from the Niners, the
Oh,
offense
Mayo.
coordinator. Yep, the offensive coordinator from the Rams, O'Connell, and then Jim Harbaugh. So to me, if you want to go young, you take the two coordinators. If you want to get the big hire, the big name, then of course you pay the money, you get Jim Harbaugh. But
Do you think Harbaugh's just using this as leverage for Michigan contract, or you think he's
that's
really
the other
interested?
reports is that he's just interviewing, and if that's the case, and if Michigan is smart, then they'll be like, well, you're just using us so we're not going to budge. So if you're going to walk, you're going to walk. I mean,
Because he's lost his leverage with Chicago being out and the Raiders being interested in McDaniel. So,
yep.
I think he's
So,
definitely using it for leverage.
I mean, if
I
you're using
think
it
so,
for
too.
leverage, I mean, jobs know that. I mean, we go interview for other positions, and it's just like, well, I don't know yet. Jobs know that they got people that are going to go where the best deal is.
I think he'd be a
Honestly,
good
I don't
hire,
think
though.
Harbaugh would even be in the consideration for any jobs after beating Ohio State. So,
I think he'd be a good hire for you guys. Look what he did with Niners, and he's already got weapons. He's got Thielen and Jefferson and Cook.
yep, exactly. And I think going into this offseason, I think the one big question that is going to be in the interview process is, what do you think of Kirk Cousins? Do you want him? Do you think we need to move him? Can you tell your offense around him?
He's already got his Kaepernick on the team. Kill him on.
Yeah,
Could be.
yeah. I guess we'll
Wow.
see. Like I said, as a Vikings fan, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I wish they go younger, but to get that big name Harbaugh here, you can't turn it down.
I wanted Harbaugh for my Bears, but
Oh
I'm
yeah,
okay with it.
I
I'm
thought
okay
for
with
sure
Eagles
Harbaugh would
lose.
go to the Bears and Raiders.
Well, and also too, we all do this. We all connect the dots of, well, Harbaugh played for Chicago, and all this, and we try to find tie-ins to these coaching hires. Well, he knows this quarterback, he knows this coach, and that's not always true, though.
No, because he has no ties to Minnesota whatsoever.
Right.
Cupboards are not emptied in Minnesota. What do you mean by that one, Hendricks? I guess I don't get the.
He's just saying you guys have a lot to offer. You guys got a lot of talent on your team, like
Okay.
Thielen and Jefferson and stuff. I think that's what he's
Okay,
leading to.
Yeah. If he's talking that, then yeah, he's right. But the Wilson have also come out and said that nobody's outside of Jefferson's, nobody's off the board and moving. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We got, before the draft, I think everything will be wrapped up. Yeah, that's what he meant, was that there's weapons. Yep. So, Dave, you nailed it on the head there. So we got a couple big news over the week. A couple retirements, one official, one semi-official.
Two
Big Ben
official if you want
Roethlisberger announced that he's retiring. Not a shock, I don't think, to any of us. But what are you going to take from Big Ben's career? We'll start with Chris.
Yeah, no, he was drafted in 2004 with the Steelers. He played his entire career with the Steelers, which is, unheard of nowadays. And most people go team to team and, trying to find success with that organization. But, he led the Steelers to 2 Super Bowls, made some Pro Bowls. I think he'll be a Hall of Famer. I don't know about first ballot, but I think he'll be a Hall of Famer. And, it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be a quarterback for Steelers and if they're going to keep, if they're going to go with one of theirs on the staff or if they're going to find somebody in a draft or free agency. But he's going to be nice.
Oh, okay. How about you, Dave? What do you think of Ben Roethlisberger's career and where Pittsburgh goes?
Oh, he had a first ballot Hall of Fame career. I think the only thing that stops him being first ballot maybe is the outside football things that happen. The rape allegations and the motorcycle wreck. But the guy won 2 Super Bowls, was 8-time Pro Bowler, rookie of the year. So, dude put up numbers, and he was good for so long until maybe last year and this year was as good as what we're used to seeing. Wasn't mobile, but and then as far as what Pittsburgh does now, I guess from what I've read, they're going to give Haskins and Mason Rudolph a chance, but I think they're also going to bring in a quarterback compete probably through draft. Maybe Kenny Pickett from Pitt would be smart to get him.
I wouldn't be surprised if it come from Pitt.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, cross, connect the dots. I mean, you already got the hometown kid there in Pitt or Pickett, so why not bring them in? I mean, you can bring the fan base with them. I mean, I think we all agree first ballot Hall of Fame, but the NFL is kind of different when it comes to Hall of Fame because it doesn't seem like they try to do too many same positions in the same year if they can avoid it. So, what I think is, yeah, he's had a stellar career. I mean, it could have been different if the draft went the way that it was supposed to, and the Giants would have taken Roethlisberger at number 4 or something. I think it was that year.
Yeah,
Because then he started falling after that, and we see the documentaries on it. So,
well, 2004 had Eli, Philip Rivers, and Big Ben.
yeah,
And
Big
I'm
Ben
sure
was supposed to
somebody
be
else.
the top
Yeah.
ones, and Philip Rivers thing kind of flip flopped, and then after that, Roethlisberger dropped. So,
Yeah.
but I think Dave's right. I think they're going to give their 2 quarterbacks a chance and probably draft somebody in the early rounds. But
I think Rudolph's going to be their opening starter.
I would say right now I'd go Haskins. I think because Rudolph's had a chance already, and he showed that he wasn't capable. So I go Haskins right now. Even though neither one of them has been able to have a stellar career like everybody thought they would be. So next we go to the semi-official announcement. I mean, everybody's reporting it, and I think we all are agreeing. Tom Brady's stepping aside. So Dave, I'll start with you. I know you're a big fan of his.
Oh yeah, Tom Brady. We like this. Yeah.
So let's start with Dave
Brady.
and get his thoughts. Brady and what's next for the Bucks? And
Honestly, until I hear it from him that he's retired, I don't believe it. I think he's pulling a swerve. It's like our buddy Sarge said in the comments. It's the biggest. What did I call it? What did he say? Jeez, I can't remember what he said, but it was funny.
You little bitch.
He was trolling. He was trolling everybody. The biggest troll in the history of football. He's trolling everybody. So I don't think he's going to retire until I hear it from him. Until I see a press conference set up, I don't think he's retired. I think he's coming back.
All right. So Chris, what do you think?
I think he's going to retire. The only problem is that Brady wanted to be the person to announce it. I think he in some way, whether it be on his documentary, or just like you said, Dave, at a press conference. But I think he wanted to be the person to announce it. ESPN and all these other outlets, caught wind of it that he was going to retire. People close to him said he was going to retire. I think CBS had the initial, thought of he's going to retire, and it was going to be sometime this week. I think it was that he was going to retire. But I think he'll retire, and he will be missed.
Yeah, I kind of would, Dave, until I hear Brady officially say it or there's a press conference or something. I mean, there's still that door to open, but I kind of think he's retired. I would say 70% right now he's retired. There's been reports that his wife wants him to retire. I mean, he's made the comments. Chris, I think he said on his podcast or a podcast that he wants to spend more time with his family, and so
that kind of tells me you're retired if you're saying I want to spend time with family.
Yeah. So, he announced it. So,
if he retired, the dude had a great career. He put up numbers that nobody's going to touch.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to get at here is I mean, 22 years. I mean,
7 Super Bowls, and he's played
7
in
Super
what,
Bowls in
10?
10 years.
He's been in 10, won 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that at the most hit position, quarterback. I mean, to play for 22 years at a high level. I mean, unless he was injured, he played 15, 16 games, and then went into the playoffs and did the same thing. I know, Dave and Chris, we talked about the GOAT status, but for this generation of football, I think we can't not say he's not the GOAT.
Yeah, he's
Overall, the game's changed so much from a run league to a pass league to 50-50 ball. I mean, that's still debatable, but for this generation of football, I don't think we can argue that he's not in that GOAT
Be
category.
fortunate enough to see a guy go to 10 Super Bowls and win 7 of them. I don't think you're going to see that again.
Yeah.
No.
Patrick Mahomes probably might do it. Maybe.
I was gonna say.
He's on the verge of his third.
Yeah, he's on the
in
verge
3
of
years.
yeah.
Here's
Yeah,
a
he's on the
question.
verge of Mahomes is on the verge of becoming, third quarterback or 3 straight Super Bowls. So that's a feat that But Mahomes has also said too he doesn't want to be compared to anybody else. He wants to be the first Mahomes. So
Right.
we'll see where that goes. But where do the Bucks go? They got that Task guy. I think they
Trask.
drafted last year or the year before, so he got to learn under Brady. Do they start with him? Do they go somewhere else? I mean, they got good weapons right now. If everybody comes back. So, Dave, do you think the Bucks go with the in-house guy, or do you think they look around?
I really like Kyle Trask. I watched a lot of his games in college football when he played for the Gators. And the guy was good. He's accurate on the deep ball. He doesn't have the biggest arm in the world. But, again, neither did Tom Brady. So, I think they'll be fine with Kyle Trask.
Okay. And welcome in Mr. Low Roll. Little behind schedule. I know he had a late show last night. So, Low Roll, we're just kind of talking about Tom Brady. We know you're a fan of his. So, give us your thoughts on Brady and where the Bucks go. Got
I'm
me, bud.
here.
There you go.
Sorry, guys, that I was a bit late. I was trying to figure out if I could join through my computer, but I was dealing with a little bit of internet issues on there, so I
that's cool.
wanted to join on my phone here. So I think I'll tell you what, Tom Brady's the GOAT. I'll tell you all that. I think that Tom Brady is a phenomenal player, and I think that when you look at Tom Brady as the GOAT, I think his accomplishments are unmatched to the other quarterbacks. And I think that if you look at it, I think that Brady will always be a Patriot in my heart. And I think what is next for the Buccaneers is I think that they should go with Kyle Trask at quarterback.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of talking about. Yeah, I think, and if I was them, I'd hire a journeyman backup just in case it doesn't work out right away with that guy. So, Laura, we also kind of talked about the few coaching hirings that have happened: Giants, Bears, and Broncos. What do you think of those hires?
I think the Giants hire with Brian Dable. I think it saves Daniel Jones. I think for the Broncos, maybe Nathaniel Hackett could convince Aaron Rodgers to come to Denver, but it might not happen because I kind of know that if you look at it, Hackett might want his own person. Just so you all know, I think that Matt Corral could be on his list when it comes to drafting quarterbacks, but we'll see how it all pans out. But I also heard a report that Aaron Rodgers could be staying with Green Bay next year, which I also could see.
Oh yeah, I think we could all see him staying with Green Bay. And I saw reports too that he wants to play with he's already come out and said he wants to play with Adams, and there was another receiver he wanted to play with too. So
Yeah, Valdez Scantling. But
yeah,
I just pulled up a report here that the Packers are increasingly confident that Aaron Rodgers will return in 2022.
yeah, and I think he should. I mean,
Yeah.
there's quarterbacks like Ben, Carr, Wilson that you built your status with that team.
Cross my
Well, Brady-
fingers, he retires.
What's that?
Cross my fingers, he retires.
And becomes owner of the Bears. Okay. So,
So
but no,
so what?
there's certain players that should stay with that original team that they built, and Rodgers is one of them. I hope he does stay. I hope he retires a Packer. To see those names move, like Brady moving to the Bucks, kind of just didn't feel right. So, but also, Laurel, we kind of talked. Minnesota's in the mix to interview Jim Harbaugh. Do you think it's a ploy with Michigan, or do you think Harbaugh might actually consider it?
Well, I mean, the reason why Jim Harbaugh interviewed with them is because Kwesi Afado. It's hard for me to say his name though. I mean, it's gonna take me a while to pronounce his name, but he has a connection with Jim Harbaugh. But I'm also kind of thinking that Kwesi, the GM of Kwesi Afra, got it.
Just call him Kwesi.
Yeah, Kwesi. I'm trying to say his full name, but his full name's kind of very hard to pronounce because I think Kwesi wants his own head coach. Maybe he could hire someone from the Cleveland Browns because he worked with them. But I kind of saw this. I'm kind of just double checking something for you all on my computer that the Vikings might have narrowed down their candidates. I don't know if you've heard that.
Yep. Yeah, I just saw a report. The offensive coordinator for the Rams, defensive coordinator for the Niners, and then it was Jim Harbaugh, or the top three I saw. So, all right, guys. So, all right.
that's what I'm thinking here. So, I'm kind of thinking that it should be a younger head coach, just because with Kwesi Aldo Manessa could hire his own head coach. I mean, he's worked with Harbaugh before, but my gut tells me that Jim Harbaugh will be the Raiders head coach.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I know the Raiders are high on another guy too. So, but hopefully in the next few weeks we'll start seeing some of these coaching vacancies start filling up and getting ready for the draft and stuff. So, all right. So it's that time. We got 2 games this week. Hopefully some big, good matchups. So, Chris, we'll start with you.
Yeah.
We're also going to throw in what we think the final score is going to be. See how close we get.
Ooh,
So we got the Bengals versus Kansas City. Kansas City's
Oh,
right now.
Before you start, who had the best record last week?
We don't want to talk about that.
Oh wait, that was me. 4-0.
Yes, I was going to get into that, Dave. You are right. Yes, Dave pulled a rabbit out of the hat. Finally he showed that Chicago can win at something. He was 8-0. I don't know how he did that, but Chris, you brought up the end. You were 2-6. And just so everybody remembers, we had 2 points per game. And then me and Loro were 4-4, and actually so was Tim Hendricks. So we all finished 4-4. So right now for the playoffs, Dave, you're at 14-6. Me and Loro are at 9-11, and Tim is at 8-12, and Chris is at 4-12. So, that's not right. No, 8-12. Chris is at 8-12. I'm sorry, I can't do my math.
Okay.
All right, so this week we'll pick the winner. If you pick an upset, you get 2. If you pick, the favorite, then is the opponent's gonna cover, and then we'll pick a final score. So, Chris, the Bengals versus KC -7. Who do you got in this game?
KC -7, you said?
Yep.
I'm going to go with the underdog Bengals.
Going for an upset right away. All right.
I don't think they'll cover, and I think the score is going to be 30-27.
30-27 on a field goal. All right, Mr. Wonderful Dave. What do you got in this game?
I'm going Kansas City. I think they're out for revenge for blowing that lead like they did a few weeks back against the Bengals. And I think Mahomes is going to get this third Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a close game, though. I think it's going to be like 34-31.
34-31.
Bengals cover.
So the Bengals will cover. All right. Laura, how about you?
I'm actually going to be going with the. I'm actually going to be going with the Cincinnati Bengals, or excuse me, sorry, the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think they'll cover the spread like Chris said. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I predict the Chiefs will be. I think the score will be Chiefs 45, Bengals 42, because I think that it's going to be one heck of a game.
Okay.
So sorry I slipped here, guys.
No,
I
that's
just
okay.
woke up.
That's okay.
Woke up and all that. So
Yeah.
Tim has gone with the Bengals. He said 35-32 also. I think for me I'm going Bengals. I think they're going to be upset, hopefully. For me though, God, what could the score could be anything. I mean, these two teams got pretty high offenses, so I'm gonna go 35. I'll go 35-28. I think Bengals might get a last minute drive there to win the game there.
For sure, this game has a chance to be another instant classic
Yes,
like last
exactly.
weekend.
And if I'll tell you right now, if anybody missed last week's games, you need to go find something. So we'll break down those games here in a little bit. Those last week games.
Yeah.
So Dave, we'll start with you. Niners Rams. Rams are favored by 3.5. What do you got?
Who you going with?
You go with you first, bud.
Oh, okay. I was coughing. I couldn't hear.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
I think it's hard to beat a team 3 times, let alone twice in the season. To do it 3 times is next not impossible, but it's really hard to do. So I think the Rams are going to win this game in that 6-game skid against the Niners, and Stafford's finally going to get to the Super Bowl. But I think it's going to be close. So I think it's going to be like 24-21.
All right, so you got the Niners covering. Yeah, it's tough to beat a team 3 times. I think I heard it was like done 14 or 17 times in recent history. So we'll see. Laurel, how about you and Niners versus the Rams?
going with my hometown LA Rams here because I think that the Rams are a better team at home. They lost to the Niners twice, but I feel like that the Rams will finally beat the Niners for when they meet for a third time. I'm going to tell you guys this: third time's the charm, and I think it's going to be a 34-31 victory for the Rams.
All right, so you got the Niners covering. All right, Chris, how about you?
No, what do you mean? Sorry, I meant 34-31 Rams.
Yep, I got you. Yeah, 34-31. All right, Chris, how about you? What do you got?
For all week for this week, I picked the Rams, and just hearing reports that there's a lot of 49er fans going to Los Angeles for this game. I remember Dallas and Green Bay having a lot of 49er fans, and it was just overwhelming. And I think that's a difference maker in this game is the fans. 49er fans can travel, and it's not that far, to my knowledge, to LA from San Francisco to LA. So I'm going to kind of change my prediction here and going with the 49ers. Ooh.
49ers and upset. What's your score?
I'm going to say 27-24.
27-24. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Rams just like everybody else, except for Chris, who changed his mind because he's Dallas.
I don't know. Something's telling me to pick 49ers. It's weird. I want LA to win, but that crowd, I don't know. It's going to be a disadvantage for LA.
I think Big B might have froze, so
Yeah, here we go. You
oh,
coming
here
back.
it comes.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry guys. I don't know.
it's okay.
You get Chris picked up slack covered for you.
Well, I don't know what happened. I just looked up and my internet was gone. So,
Oh.
There's 2 Big B's there.
I know,
Oh,
isn't that
My
awesome?
goodness.
We got
yeah,
double Big
let's
B
not get
here.
rid of that. So anyway, so as I was saying, maybe my internet's a Cowboy fan because I started picking on the Cowboys, but I'm going with the Rams. I've been with the Rams all year. I thought Stafford was a great quarterback. Dave, we got to see him twice every year, so we know what he can do. He finally got some weapons. I'm going 35-21 Rams, so I don't think the Niners are going to cover. Chris, you do make a great point, though, that the Niner fans want to be there. They're going to be there. So would not be surprised if the crowd is 50-50. I don't know. I don't know how people can afford those tickets, but because somebody
Well,
said
especially
I read something that parking anywhere near the stadium $500.
yeah, I was gonna say that.
Did you see that
500
rumor
What's that,
where
Dave?
there was two former players, Joe Staley and another one that said they were going to buy tickets and give them to Niners fans so they can go in because the Rams were like trying to make it to where Niners fans couldn't come.
And I just don't get how you could just do. I mean, I get that you want to do that, but I mean, if you're calling up, that'd be like me calling up the Bears and be like, "Hey, I want tickets to Bears Vikings." Why, are you a Viking fan? Oh no, I've rooted for Chicago forever. I mean, and then come in with my Viking stuff on. I just
Well,
don't get
the
how
way they were going to go about it is they were going to check the location, like your zip code on your credit card, and see where it was from or whatever.
Yeah,
and
but
if
if I want to travel to see my team, I don't know. I think it's kind of.
And I remember when 49ers played Dallas, they're like, here they're saying, whatever you do, don't sell your tickets to 49er fans.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of fan bases that'll say that. The team will come out and say that too. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, if you're in, I mean, these tickets are gonna go high. I mean, especially for the Rams. I mean, we'll see. So let's move on. Let's talk about the last week games. I guess we should cover this first, but kind of slipped my mind because
Okay.
it's been a week. So, Loro, what did you think of last week's games and your favorite game, disappointing game? I mean, what do you think of last week's games?
I think of last week's games. I mean, almost all the road teams won, but the best game last week was Chiefs-Bills. That should have been in the AFC Championship game. The Titans, I'll tell you guys this, they're not a 1 seed, but I might throw a little bit of a curveball on their season in 2022. As much as I think Tennessee could win the division next year, and if Jacksonville gets it right with their head coach and Byron Leftwich, watch out for the Jags to win the AFC South next year, folks.
Oh my God! I am
I
writing that one
I-
down.
Yes,
I am writing
dude.
that down. Are you sure you're not Isaiah right now? So
Well, the reason why I say this, folks, is I think that if you look at it, Trevor Lawrence, if you get Byron Leftwich as the head coach of the Jags, then it tells me something. It's going to help Trevor Lawrence out. I think Byron Leftwich will change the dynamic of the franchise, especially on offense. And I think that I know that Trent Baalke's not a really good GM and all that, but I feel like that my gut tells me that Byron Leftwich is going to be the coach of the Jags.
I don't know about that.
yeah,
I have a feeling.
I saw he interviewed, and reports are that he made some ridiculous demands. One being get rid of the GM, and he wanted to name the next GM. So we'll see what that one. I mean, I wouldn't mind
I don't
Leftwich
think
going to
so.
Jacksonville, but I just
Also,
I-
the problem with Leftwich is during his interviews, they've asked him, who are you going to bring in to run the offense and defense? And he has no idea what he's doing. He doesn't have a staff.
yeah,
He doesn't have anybody
he
in mind
wanted
for
to
what he
name
wants
the
to do.
next GM and stuff like that. So we'll
I
see.
think he's out. He's out of the running to me.
Yeah,
And
so
plus,
Dave,
I
if
don't
he,
think he's out of the running too. I'm just seeing the tracker here. It says second interview pending for Byron Leftwich.
yeah, you're right. I mean, they're going to interview him. I mean, again, so we'll see. We'll see where that goes. I mean, I think we all said Leftwich would be a good fit there. So Dave, what did you think of the 4 games this past week?
So I know everybody's going to say the Chiefs and Bills are their favorite, but for me, seeing Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers get knocked out made my day so much better. So I'm going to go with that one. I can't go anywhere else because seeing Green Bay and Rodgers, bye-bye, see ya. You thought you had a shot? Nope. Was
I
awesome.
had a shot. Come on. All right, Chris. How about you? What do you think of those Insta Classics last week?
oh man, I mean, all 4 were pretty good in their own right, but I would have to say that Chiefs and Bills games was probably like the top game for divisional weekend. I mean, you had an overtime, thriller that once again proves that there's a little controversy in there, and I understand it, but at the same time too, the Bills defense couldn't stop Kansas City, so it could go both ways on that situation, but nevertheless, it was really good. Mahomes and the Chiefs proved they're underdogs in every situation, and they may not have the best defense, but they have a really good offense, and I think that's what helps them win games.
I mean, Laurel stated, 3 of the 4 teams were road teams that won. You got a rookie kicker that came in the Bengals game and was iced. I mean, he nailed that sucker right down the middle. Then you go to the Niners Packers game, which I ain't gonna lie either. Kind of happy the Packers are out, but that was a
Yes.
classic there. And then Rams Bucks. I mean, another game that came down to the wire. There, I don't know why you're not covering Cooper Kupp on a double team. When he's on
Right.
the field, but right down the middle for the dagger. And then 25 points in a 2-minute span. 13 seconds left on the clock, and Mahomes marches down for the game-winning tying field goal. You get the flip, which again we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I mean, this whole week, I couldn't even recall even March Madness. I don't think could have topped this week in football, and we know how
No.
much March Madness can be. But
So here's a funny thing. In wild card weekend, every team but the 49ers won at home. Divisional weekend, all the teams but Kansas City won on the road.
oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
Maybe
So
they
what?
split.
So the
I
week
don't know.
before it was all the home teams except for the Niners. This week it was all the away teams except for Kansas City. Gotcha. That makes a little trivia fact there, I guess. So, yeah, it was just a wild weekend. Tim Hendricks is chiming in. He said his was Brady going home early, and then he's also putting out there that O'Connell is a target for the Jags. So,
I heard
yeah,
that yesterday. Yeah.
we'll see that.
I mean,
ESPN was-
Tim, I think I want the Jags to go with an offensive-minded head coach to help Trevor Lawrence, but I really think that the Jaguars can't keep waiting and not wait any longer because they really need to name Byron Leftwich their head coach because I've really wanted him. I've wanted him to be the head coach of the Jags, and if that happens, then I'm predicting the Jags winning the AFC South if Leftwich is the head coach.
All right. Well,
I don't
you heard
think
it
it's
here
gonna happen.
first.
No, because the reason why
January 30th, 11:50 Central Time. If the Leftwich is the coach of the Jags, Low Roll said they're going to win the South.
I'm
You
kind
heard
of
it
pulling
first.
an Isaiah here because the reason why I say that is because I don't trust Tannehill as a quarterback for Tennessee. The reason why I think Tennessee's going to win the division is because of Derrick Henry and AJ Brown. That's about it. The Colts, Carson Wentz is good, but I think that Carson Wentz is good, guys, but I think he's good because of Frank Reich. And then the Texans are in a bad situation, folks. So that's why I think Jacksonville's ahead of Houston in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen. I mean, we know, a couple minor moves and teams can turn it around. So, but let's talk about that overtime ruling. Ruled. Do we agree with them? Do we think they need to be changed a little bit? Laura, I'll start with you. What do you think of the overtime rule? Should as it sits right now, do you agree with it, or do you think it needs to be tweaked?
It needs to be retweaked. I think both teams need to have an opportunity to possess the ball here.
Okay, Chris, how about you? Do you think it's good, tweaked? Should they make it different for the playoffs? What do you think?
I think everything's good except for like Laura said. You have to have both teams with the ball, have a shot with the ball. If, the Chiefs scored that touchdown, which they did, you have to have Buffalo, do the same. If they get a field goal, game continues. If they, or if they get a field goal, Chiefs win. If the Bills get a touchdown, you continue on. I think you keep everything else as is, so that's the only thing I would change.
All right, Dave, how about you? What do you think on the overtime rule?
I've said it time and time again. I'll say it again. It does not need to change. Buffalo needed to play better defense. How do you let a team get in the field goal range with 13 seconds left? That coin toss did not decide the game. Their defense decided the game by letting them tie the game at the end. And you play defense for a reason. They say defense wins championships. Go out and do it. Stop them from scoring. They didn't do their job, so it does need to be changed.
Nope. And Dave, your comments are exactly right. As most analysts said that, it's like, hey, we don't need to tweak anything. Buffalo just needs to play better defense. I mean, 13 seconds to go, 70 plus yards to get field goal range. I mean, that's way not right. But I mean, overall, taking this game out of consideration, I do think that each team needs at least one possession. They did tweak it back in the day where it used to be the first score, game's over no matter if it was a safety, field goal, touchdown, opening kickoff, game was over. Now they tweaked it to where if you get a field goal and a safety, I don't know, but I believe it's just field goal, the other team gets an opportunity to get the ball back. Now it comes down to a coin flip, and typically if you score a touchdown, game's over. So, people I talk to, friends and coworkers, one guy, and actually I heard this on ESPN or another talk show, where if the team scores a touchdown, they kick the field goal. The other team gets a chance to score a touchdown, and if they score, they must go for the 2-point conversion to end the game. If they get it, game over. If they don't, game's over. So I kind of like that idea. I don't think it'll get adapted, but we'll see. Tim Hendricks is saying that go to the college rules where you start on the 10?
I think it's on the 30 or something like that.
I thought it was the 25. I thought it was the 25 yard one.
I kind of like that. But then you get it to where, you got, 9 different chances, but
then what you could do is say college rules, whoever, after each possession, then you have to go for 2 points in the second overtime instead of third overtime.
Yeah. Well, and in that case, it's not really called an overtime. It's more of a shootout, really. That's what I think college just needs to get away from. That's
why I say just keep it the same.
It's not an overtime. So, but again, people brought up, just let them play it all the way out, and then it's like, and then go into sudden death after that. in the
I
playoffs.
forgot we had another
To
option.
me, I hate when people change the rules for regular season into playoffs. I don't think it works. I think you need to play with the same set of rules all year long.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind them. Yeah, let's play another 15 minutes of football. And then after that, okay, now we're gonna go. We're gonna start the drives at 25. If you stop them, you stop them. But Dave, you do make a good point. It doesn't need to change. Buffalo just needed to play better defense, which again, you're not wrong. So, all right.
This is going to be the bomb.com.
Anybody else got anything they want to touch on base? Laura, I know you've been working the computers since you got up. So, anything you want to talk about quick?
If Josh McDaniels assumingly gets the Raiders head coaching job, I could see Bill O'Brien coming back to the Patriots as the offensive coordinator, but I wouldn't want Josh McDaniels to be the head coach of the Raiders, honestly. I mean, I want him to go to a team that is rebuilding, and I feel like the Houston Texans would be a best fit for him. And I think that I would want to see Josh McDaniels reunite with Nick Caserio.
My thoughts on the whole McDaniels thing, he's already was offered a job, accepted it, and then turned it down. So
The Colts job.
yeah, exactly. So
And he was
I
the
don't
head
know.
coach.
I mean, if he gets the Raiders job, good for him. I'm not saying that don't interview, but to me, I would just be kind of lenient that we offer him the job, and then a week later he says no. So
Well,
And-
there was a
and-
report out that he said he wasn't even going to interview for the Raiders job unless they were going to offer him the job.
yeah,
and
so-
wasn't he the Broncos head coach?
He was, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they
Yeah,
were rebuilding and it didn't work out. So
Yeah, so I don't know. I'd be kind of lenient, but hey, I just saw on ESPN they said he's the front runner there, so we'll go with that. I mean, we don't know. Chris, how about you? You got any topics we kind of missed or something you want to cover?
yeah, who are the Saints going to go
Doing?
after coach wise
Did you
with
step on my
Peyton
table?
stepping down?
Get off of my table.
Oh, yes,
Oh, my
Peyton
table.
stepping down. Yes, you're right. I forgot about that. So what do you guys think? What do you think the reasons is for Peyton to step down? Chris, I'll start with you since you brought it up.
I think he's burnt out. I think he's been coaching since 2006, maybe longer, but at least the head coach since 2006. Breeze is retired, and like we've heard before, they don't really have a cap. It's over the limit. They have to get it down somehow. I know there's not any coaches cap, but and you don't really have a quarterback. Yeah, you have Hill, Taysom Hill, and
Yep.
I can't remember the other one offhand, but you got two good ones. I think except for Hill, you don't really have one on the roster at the moment, and I think he's just tired.
Okay. Dave, what do you think?
Are we talking about Sean Payton?
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree with Chris. He's burnt out. He wants to step aside and do the color commentating thing for one of the major networks. I think he's going to take a year off, and then if Dallas does terrible next year, I think he's going to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh. All right.
I've seen that.
Around. That's not going to happen, man.
I
feel
see
like
it
that-
happen.
I think
Like,
I would want to stick. I think the Cowboys should stick with Mike McCarthy right now.
They are this year, but
Yeah.
This year, I'm talking about
Yeah,
Yeah,
next
he's
year.
talking about next year. He's talking next year. So, Laura, what do you think Peyton's going to do?
I think he's going to go on. He's going to start a career on TV, which I think is going to happen.
Oh yeah, there's been rumors that Aikman's going to go to Amazon to do their.
No,
I'm okay
that's
with that.
probably not going to happen.
Okay.
I think it's happened with the right
Yeah,
one.
and then Peyton was going to step in for Aikman, so we'll see. I mean, negotiations, we'll see. I know Amazon wanted the Manning brothers for a while. Now they're turning their ties to Aikman. We'll see what happens there. Tim is chiming in. Yeah, McDaniels drafted Tebow when he was with the Broncos, so he was there. So for me, yeah, I think he's going to step away, go up in the booth, maybe even just step away for a while, a year. And, Dave, I think you nailed it. If Dallas does bad next year, don't be surprised if Peyton's name gets brought up into that. So
I think every Cowboy fan's going, please don't do good. Please don't do good. Please don't do good.
I don't know. I think Cowboy fans would like to have Peyton there. So I was looking it up. I got one trivia question for you guys because next week at this time slot, we have no games. So we're gonna do a football trivia show. I don't know how we're gonna do it yet. What's
we should
that?
also preview the Pro Bowl.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll probably talk a little Pro Bowl. I mean,
Does anybody care about the Pro Bowl? It's not
exactly.
like
I used to, but no, I
who's in
don't.
and who's not. But
yeah, exactly. I used to too, but it's
yeah, we'll see. But next week we're gonna do a whole show, football trivia. I don't know if I'll do a Jeopardy style, or if I'll just have some list. You guys name off the answers one by one and see who can last the longest. But we might have some guests. I know J Mac said he wants to be in. Sarge has thought about it. So we'll see what we can get going. But for me, the trivia question I got is, we all know Kansas City is on the verge of going to 3 straight Super Bowls. Can you guys name the other 3 teams that have gone to 3 or more straight Super Bowls? Laura, I'll start with you.
It's the New England Patriots from 2017, 2018, and 2019.
All right, so you got the Patriots. That is correct. Chris or Dave, can you name another team?
the Bills
Yeah,
back in
that's
the 90s.
Dave said the Bills.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's been
Chris,
to
can you
2 or
name a
more.
third team?
That's been to 2 Super Bowls or more.
3 or more.
And
We're talking
Dave said
in a row, right?
and said,
Yeah,
and Dave
Laura
said
said the
Buffalo.
Pats. Dave said the Bills. There's one more, Chris.
I know it.
Cowboys.
No. Dave, you got it?
It's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No.
No.
It's not. I thought the 70 Steelers went 3 in a row.
Oh,
Let me just confirm that 'cause I was
Packers.
looking. I overlooked. I think I
Packers.
have it up here.
Packers.
Let me see. You said the Steelers, Dave?
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
they,
with
Maybe they
Bradshaw.
went to 3 and 4 years.
they went twice and then they missed 2 years and they went twice again.
That's right.
I got the
Is it the Vikings?
no, Vikings didn't do it. They missed a couple years in the middle there too. But it's the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, that's
They
who it
went
was. Yeah.
73, 74, 70, or I'm sorry, 72, 73, 74, 1, 2, and 3.
And then maybe this year you can add the Chiefs.
Yep, exactly. That's what brought it up is that possibly could add the Chiefs into that mix. Tim, yeah, we could definitely have you on if you're willing to jump on next week. We'll talk about that. But so again, next week we'll have Morning Tailgate, 11 Central. We're going to focus trivia. Might talk a little bit about the Pro Bowl, but I think a lot of people think the Pro Bowl is just
It's not
one
the
of the
same.
worst all-star games in sports, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But Laura, what you got going on tap today for you and MI6?
Extra point tonight, and then I'm calling two conference title games on the Colorcast app. So be sure you want to tune in for that. Download the Colorcast app and go from there.
All right, Dave, what do you got going on tonight?
Yeah, stay tuned because we got a lot to unpack tonight on Between the Rows with the Royal Rumble. It's going to be amazing. Also, I want to throw this out there. The reason I said the Rams by 3, Robbie Gould is perfect in the playoffs with field goals and extra points. And I think he's going to miss it at the end to tie the game.
Ooh,
I was going to say,
all
you
right.
just jinxed him, so.
And Dave, why don't you give us a little preview? You and Adam had a show on Mondays. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah, so we got a new show called The Red Tape Files where we talk about cold cases that have, still remain cold over the years. And this week's going to be another local case from here about a girl, an older lady I used to work with that disappeared and nobody knows where she went still to this day. So
Okay. So Tim wants no spoilers, so we will not tell him that Hulk Hogan came out of retirement and won the Royal Rumble. So we won't tell Tim that. So Chris, what do we got going on C2C?
Yeah, I mean, like Dave said, we got great shows coming up. Between the Ropes tonight. Talking about an okay pay-per-view last night, but it wasn't too bad. And then just stay with Coast to Coast.
Okay, Dave, I think Tim's sending out a topic for you guys for your show. Look up Lisa Mack, Iron Mountain, Michigan. I'll have to look that one up too. I wonder if I know her. So, but yeah, so C2C tonight, we got Between the Ropes. Check out Low Row and the guys on MI6 tonight. And then check out Dave and Adam on their show on Monday.
Don't forget Lunchtime with Mess Around on Monday.
Last time with Mess Around.
Yeah.
Sarge has a show, Sport Compound with Chris. Tuesday Night Mania on Tuesday. I think we're going to do Entertainment Hour this week. Before that, you got the Bo and Joe show. You got Joanne's shows, her health show on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So, and then Kicking It with Isaiah and Ace is turned into almost a comedy show. But yeah, so we got good content on both networks, so keep checking us out. Until next week, enjoy your division championship games, and we'll see you all next week. Have a good one.